Whoa. What's going on, everybody? I'm trying to see. Are we live already, man? Hold on. Let me see. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was planning on going live here at 4, but I think we're live already, man. So, what's up, everybody? Let me see here. Let me get the chat pulled up. Let me see. Yep, we are for sure live, man. Let me go ahead and send our guest the link here. Let me go ahead and text him. Uh, um, Jay, what's up, brother? I'm trying to get our guest here, Stone Hansen. So I'm just texting him because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was planning on what's up, Daniel Berry? What's going on, brother? Jay, what's going on, brother? I was planning on getting Stone here with us, and we were planning on starting here at 4, and Stone still is gonna join us, but we started a little bit early because I was over here playing with the settings and then accidentally clicked the go live button. So regardless, we are live though, and I'm happy to be here with y'all, man. What's going on? What's going on? How's your day, Jay? What about you, Daniel? We got 10 people in here supporting, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Our boy Stone Hansen will be joining us here shortly. We are gonna honestly talk all NBA, to be honest. That's why you see the title of this is an NBA RoundTable. All right, let me see what's his best email. Boom, 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 man. Jay, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you always showing love as always, Jay. Always sharing the channel. But I really want to talk. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like I would love to get into Laker stuff, and as we always do, get into Laker stuff. But I also want to get into just the NBA in general, y'all. Like the Cavs still are 12-0. I'm gonna talk with this. I'm gonna talk to Stone about this because, man, like I want to know, like, do y'all actually believe in the Cavs, or do y'all think it's because of the strength of schedule? What y'all think, Jay? What you think? I don't know if you gotten to watch many Cavs game. What's going on, Jeremy? How you doing, brother? Happy to have you here, brother. Happy to have you here talking some hoops with us on a Tuesday afternoon, depending on where you're at. It's about to be 4 p.m. for me, California time. Well, not California time, but just Pacific Standard Time, I guess. But if you've been to Cali your whole life, then it's California time, right? Let me send this link to Stone real quick. All right, y'all. All right. Stone, my boy. Boom. Got that sent to him. It's Wednesday morning. Man, brother, you right, Jeremy. You are right. My fault, brother. Intel, wow, what's going on, brother? Happy to have you here with us, man. Happy to see all you guys, man. I hope you guys ready for a lit stream. We really just gonna talk all of the NBA, to be honest, from top to bottom. In Australia, I was talking to Xbox, man. Xbox, he was giving me game, man. He was culturing, giving me the culture. I still got my name as Gerald on here, huh? I'm not Gerald. I aspire to be as great as Gerald, but I'm not Gerald. So let me switch my name to John there. But that's crazy, Jeremy. I can't believe it's 9 a.m. I thought you said you were waiting to get stoned. No. No. I'm not waiting to get stoned. I'm waiting for a stone. What's going on, Kurt? It's good to see you, my brother. That's hella funny. I just sent you the link. All right, Gerald with the tan. He said, "Where's my wrench at, Brody? Where's your wrench? What you mean wrench? You mean like the actual tool? Joe may join. Oh yeah, I would love to have Joe join us. I would love to, and you as well. Gerald, I mean, shoot, if we could get the whole gang in here, that'd be great. Hey, just wondering, where's my wrench at, Brody? I don't know. what you talking about, to be honest with you, my brother. But I'm happy to have you here, though. I'll tell you that much. Happy to have you here. I used to have a tan curve when I work outside. Man, that's Gerald. You used to work outside. I bet. Um, I'm not gonna lie, Gerald. People that are like of whiter tone, they tan quickly. Yeah, you guys sunburn quickly. So I'm sure I'll sell my wrench. I don't know if it's an inside joke about the wrench here, y'all, but I am not. Um, I'm not in on it. So whatever y'all talking about. Um, but anyway, though, Kurt, what's going on, brother? Jeremy, like I was telling you, yeah, Xbox. He was gaming me up all about Australia. Tell me why you guys are called the Down Under. Telling me about y'all, what y'all speak, and I know probably a little bit of dumb being dumb on my part. I should have known y'all spoke English, but we were just talking about everything, man. Vegas, that is true, Gerald. You are on in Vegas. Vegas is different. Let me see. Stone say he not seeing it. Okay, all right. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Do 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 do. Stone say he not seeing it. Man. Anywho, bro, shoot, we got 17 people in the building, man. What's going on? Well, how's everybody doing it, man? Gerald, yeah, you are in Vegas. Vegas heat is different. Kurt said, John, good to see you. What you think would out another 4 weeks? That's honestly really, I mean, I would say it hurts us because at this point, I'm gonna take any help off the bench. But at the same time, I don't think that was gonna be a game changer. I don't think that was gonna change anything that we were doing. I mean, I don't think it's gonna change the trajectory of where we were going. To be honest with you, um, I've heard a lot of wood slander slander. To be honest with you, Gerald, what's going on, brother?
Up, man. I'm trying to get Stone on for you. Let
Yeah.
me get.
Oh, thank you
Let me.
very much.
Yeah, let me try and get Stone on for you. So, Stone, I'm gonna get you on just a second. So,
Yep, Gerald, we'll
and then
get you on, Stone.
Joe's got to do a couple things. I will come on here in a sec to talk as well, but I got to make a couple calls. But let me go ahead and I'll get Stone on first, and I'll hang with you. But yeah, definitely want to be talking NBA. I was going to do an NBA observations at 5, but Reggae Joe had to reschedule. So I'm open for this evening. I'm not sure if we're going to do it inside sports fantasy football later tonight to let our viewers know that is still up in the air, but hoping we can get that done as well. But yeah, glad you came in. I totally forgot to preset this for you, man. So I blew it on the scheduling part, but I'm so glad that you came in. There he is. We got him. There you go. I'll be
There he
back,
is.
guys. There's Stone. So I'll be back. I'm just make a couple calls and I'll be back.
Sounds good, Joe. Appreciate you. What's going on, Stone, my brother? How you doing? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear us. Um. Okay. Well, in the meantime, until can you hear me, Stone? Oh,
He's gonna pop. He's gonna looks like he's gonna pop back in. Hopefully in a sec. I'll stay with you until he can hear you on that. Thank you, Blue, for the hit the like and subscribe. Kurt, what's going on? Yeah, actually, one of my many jobs here in Vegas over the course of the 90s and 2000s was running the outside lot and managing all operations outside at Dollar. And so I was outside for 7 to 10 hours a day. So, yes, I got quite tan to answer
wow.
that question. Yes. There he is. Can you hear us now, Stone? Still can't hear you, man.
And we can't hear you.
Yes. That's why it's funny because I have some of my pop culture cosmos panelists as well. They turn off their settings or they change their settings when they're away from the show. I never change the settings.
Are you able to hear me now?
There
There
we
you
go.
go. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Rock on. All right, I'll be back, guys. Have fun.
Appreciate you, Stone, my brother. What's up, bro? How you doing?
How's it going?
Going well, Stone. Had a little bit of a tough work day, but you know what? We're here now, and that's
That's
what
what matters.
matters. That's what
Exactly.
matters. Exactly. But my brother Stone, man, since yeah, I don't know if you want to give us an update on how you doing in life and whatnot. But if you're doing good, then we can get straight into the hoops. I'm gonna be honest, Stone. What I like I texted you. I didn't really have much of a agenda for this. Just want to kind of get an NBA, round table. Got to talk about the league in its entirety. Whatever people in the chat want to talk about, y'all want to throw some questions, some comments in the chat. Me and Stone will get to it. But I guess until we get that, let me start your opinion on the Cavs, Stone, because they're sitting at 12-0 right now. Been playing some really impressive basketball, but their strength of schedule has not been top of the league. So I guess I want to get your thoughts on the Cavs and just the whole Cleveland so far.
Yeah, this is a team I really like. I really like how they're constructed, but I think last year in the playoffs we saw that, at least to me, it became pretty clear they're best with one big on the court at a time. Like I think Allen and Mobley are both at their best when they're the sole big on the court. I don't think that will change this year in the playoffs. In the regular season, they've been killer so far, and Garland's been a big part of that. He's one of my favorite players, but as a closer, he's been huge for them, taking a lot off of Mitchell in that regard. But yeah, in the playoffs, I think it might be a different story. And I always sort of take the first 20 or so games of it for any team with a grain of salt. I know the Bucks are really struggling right now, and Cleveland's super hot. I Within 50 games, I don't think each of them will be on the same trajectory as they currently are. So I think you sort of have to take the first, like I said, 20 games or so with a grain of salt. But yeah, impressive stuff so far. I mean, they've 12-0 is a great start, and picking up those early wins really comes into play later in the season when you're trying to, scramble and fight for a playoff seeding and all that. So they're doing what they need to do, and I think it's looked impressive so far.
Got you. And let me ask you a follow-up question on that, because you mentioned that, in playoffs, the two bigs have shown that they can't be on the court together. And that was actually going to be one of my questions to you, because I think this season, and in my opinion, and I mean, you tell me if you think I'm wrong, but in my opinion, the biggest difference for the Cavs, besides them just looking more in sync, it's been Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley's really gotten unlocked. I think he's really took another step this year in, his aggression and his ability to shoot the ball, the three ball, or even his willingness to just shoot that three ball. I think his defense has always been there. And again, we are only 12 games into the season, so these numbers are all on an extremely small sample size. But like that, the Twin Towers lineup so far this season has looked great, and I think it's looked even better than last year because of the improvement of Evan Mobley. So I was just going to ask you, like, is that something you don't believe in come playoffs? Do you think like one will get played off the court, and if so, like, can you explain to me and everybody out there like how that will happen, or how you see that?
Yeah, I think Mobley, in my opinion, is the Cavs' best player. I think he's just flat out the best player on the Cavs. And a lot of people say Donovan Mitchell, and that's fine. But I think what really makes this team run is Mobley and his processing speed. That's really stood out to me pre-draft with him. Is he processes things so quickly on both ends of the court. That's why he's such a good passer and why he's such a good defender, because he sees things very, very quickly as a big. And I think offensively, like you said, the big thing for me is the aggression. He's really taken a step, like you were saying, and I think that that step forward unlocks a lot for him offensively. The last year they tried putting him more on the three as a shooter. I think this year he's up from that even. The percentage isn't great, but it's clear that it's something he's working on and trying to get better at, which I think is really going to be the key in terms of this working out in the playoffs. I think the only way it does work, or at least because I don't want to say they failed last time, but I thought they were better individually than as a unit with the two bigs. So I don't think they failed necessarily, but to fully unlock it, I think Mobley needs to be a really formidable shooter from three. And the best time to work on that is throughout the regular season. So hopefully as the season continues to go on, that'll improve, and maybe in the playoffs that'll come to fruition.
Okay, so and real quick, just want to acknowledge Cool Bro because Cool Bro's always getting bagged on when it's anyone else but me and Stone are here. So, what's going on, Cool Bro? Nice to see you, brother. Hope you had a good day at school or whatever kids do nowadays. But, uh, um, okay, so then I guess you don't have them as contenders. You wouldn't have them.
I wouldn't have them as top tier contenders. I think they're in play. I'd probably have them as like second tier. I think for me, the Thunder and the Celtics are still top tier contenders. I probably have them in that second tier with like the Knicks and um, can't think who else off the top of my head. The Nuggets, maybe if everything were to click together. But those are teams that like could possibly, if every domino falls right for them, make it. But I think the Celtics and the Thunder are still the clear favorites for me at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I mean, and it's super unfortunate because we all are Lakers fans here, but I mean, most of us I would think are Lakers fans. But um, I been known that the Celtics were going to win a championship at the beginning of the when they got Drew Holiday. When it was Drew Holiday and Kristaps, and they had the ability to switch 1 through 5 and had the best wing and the best defensive backcourt. I was like, oh fuck, nobody's gonna be able to beat him in a 7 game series, and they are able to uh bring every player back, bro. I think that was one of the greatest things that they did, bro. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on, and a lot of organizations sleep on. They like you win a championship, you get your players poached because players teams all around the league want to get your players. But the Celtics, like they paid everybody, like even the players at the end of the bench, they brought back everybody because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But real quick, Stone, I want to give some love here to some people in here in the chat. He said, "Hey, do you believe the Lakers are winning 50 games?" Oh, I'm sorry, he was talking to Kurt, not us. But shoot, I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to answer, but do you believe that, Stone?
Um, I don't think so. I think they'll probably end somewhere in the 40s. Would
I
be my
agree.
guess.
I agree. I agree. Kurt, what do you think, brother? Let me see. I don't know if Kurt responded already.
I think mid
Uh,
40s, between like 44 and 46, 44 and 48, somewhere in there.
Okay, cool, bro. Said John, what do you think of JJ so far? Is he what you expected? Better than what you expected? Great question, cool, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I expected a lot from JJ Redick. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say I expected. I knew he was gonna be a great X's and O's coach. And if you don't believe me, go on Lakers Corner. It's my YouTube page. I made a video talking about why JJ Redick's gonna be a good coach, and I talked about the things that I think the intangibles because like before this season, he never even had freaking a second grade AAU like coaching experience. So I had nothing to go off. But what I could have to go off was the fact that I've been listening to this guy since 2018 in his podcast, and I've been really locked in. And I've always known, like even before the Mind the Game, when it was just JJ Redick and Tommy Alter, and I've always known, like, damn, this guy is such a good X's and O's guy. And then I saw his ability to just connect with players, like throughout the years that he's had his podcast, and just him who he is as a person. Like he's just always had the ability to connect with players. And then I also know that JJ Redick is just, I mean, I don't know him personally, but from everything I've heard of him is like he's one of those, man, if I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna do this right. Nobody gonna outwork me, nobody gonna do this. And I think with all those three personalities, the ability to connect with players, his ability to be just hella smart, X's and O's, and then just having to be like, yo, once I start this shit, I'm gonna do it. So I thought he was gonna be a good coach. I ain't gonna lie. And but one thing I did say, and if you go back in that video, you'll see that I said I do think it's gonna be a bit of a learning curve because as with everything in life, there's a learning curve. But I do think that like years down the road, he'll be like, I'm not gonna sit here and say little Pat Riley, but I think he'll be a very good coach in this league. But sorry that was so long. But Stone, talk to me about what you think about JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have too many thoughts beforehand because I'll be honest, like I didn't listen to his podcast before. Well, I still don't because he doesn't have it. But I didn't really consume his content before. And like you said, there's no experience to base anything off of. And just in general, like as a rule of thumb, I tend not to have an opinion on coaches if they're first time hires as head coaches. Like that you just don't know. Even as assistants, like a lot of people are gung ho about certain assistants in the NBA getting an opportunity, and I'm like, well, how do you know that they're a good coach if they've just been an assistant this whole time? People might say good things about them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be, really good coaches. So I tend to be indifferent when coaches are hired. And as I said earlier, like the first 20 or so games, I tend to take with a giant grain of salt. So I still don't have like a great opinion on JJ. My opinion thus far is that he's way better than Ham was. And I think that's, I sort of went into this hiring knowing that like whoever you hire is going to be a step up from where we were. And I think that that's proven itself to be the case thus far. I think that he's definitely has a lot of sets that we're running. Some of them are rudimentary, but I think as the season goes on, they'll expand and he'll add more to it. And even the fact that they're rudimentary, he's using them in different ways so that it's not as predictable. And I think that's interesting. We have plays out of the sideline out of bounds plays, timeout out of bounds plays. There's a lot of things that are interesting with him. I'm going to reserve like any definitive opinions about him until we have a bit more of a sample size. Maybe we're 40, 50 games in. And even still, I think win totals are going to be difficult to fully judge a coach in this situation because I just don't think we have the roster, no matter who the coach is. I don't think we have the roster to really have a ton of wins this year. So we could be way better than we were the last couple of years, but the win total might not reflect that because the roster is not any better. So I think he's a better coach than Ham was, but I don't have super strong definitive opinions as of yet.
I feel it. That's real. And I remember like when we were in the process of hiring a coach, I thought the same thing to myself. I was like, okay, well, at least we're gonna get a better coach than Darvin Ham, because like that was one thing I kept saying. And I told my brothers, I was like, bro, that's the good thing about the bottom. It's like you can't get any worse than the bottom,
you can't
right?
go down. Yeah,
You can't go down. You can only go up. So
yeah.
so I feel you on that, brother. And I think anything a bit better Darvin Ham here. But let me get to Jay's comment and appreciate you saying something here, Jay. Jay said we have to talk about Wood SMH. But Stone, Christian freaking Wood out for at least another 4 weeks because of his knee injury. This was one of the first things I talked about on the stream because I accidentally started the stream 8 minutes earlier than I was supposed to. But and then someone asked me about Wood, and I said like, it's unfortunate because I think I would have taken any help off our bench, or I mean, especially any help as bigs, right? Like, I mean, as much as you can consider him a big, let's consider him that, and I'll take any help off the bench, any help for the backup bigs. But I don't think that it's like the difference between here and there, to be honest with you. So that's why, I mean, to me, it's kind of like, I mean, it's unfortunate. Hope he comes back, but I don't think it was changing nothing. Are you in similar mindset, or where are you at with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of just a situation of we would need him in case there's because I don't think AD's out with the eye injury. I think he's coming right back. If AD were to be out, then I'd be stressing a lot more about it because we don't have any bigs. But the fact that we still have him and Hayes for now until something happens with his situation, it's not that big a deal because I don't think he'd be in the rotation anyways. I don't think he's a rotational player for this team. So him being out, I mean, it sucks for him and probably sucks overall. But in terms of the Lakers and trying to win, I don't think it makes any difference. But we have such thin depth that we could easily find ourselves in an OKC type situation where you have to play 5 guys that are 6'6" through 6'8", and you're struggling because the Lakers don't have the sort of depth even that the Thunder do. So playing guys, you might see situations where LeBron or Cam Reddish would have to play center if AD were out. So that's not something we want to see, and hopefully we don't. And having Wood there for that sort of insurance, it's the only sort of thing I could see that being relevant for.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I feel you on that, brother. And cool, bro. All right, brother. I'll see you. Hope you have a good rest of your night or day. And then we see you got Liz here from Twitch. What's going on? Nice to have you. And then Stone, I don't know if there's anything here in the chat that I missed, but it doesn't look like it. But for any of you, I want to throw something in the chat, go ahead, throw it in the chat. But in the meantime, Stone, let's talk about this in-season tournament that we got coming up here. Hold on, let me see. He said, "Hey, John and Stone, the LA Lakers are 6-4 on the season. Under already." Yep, yeah, I agree. They are 6-4. But yeah, I don't know who to. But yeah, I agree, brother. They are. But I guess Stone. We got the in-season tournament coming up. I believe it starts on the 15th, November 15th, I believe. Any thoughts on the in-season tournament? I guess this is like the second year of it. Like I guess officially being rolled out. Is this something you like? Like how do you feel about it? And I guess you have any thoughts on this year's in-season tournament?
I mean, it's pretty much pointless. It's just the only thing I care about is the regular season games, the win losses. But outside of that, I mean, it's just a fancy name for this stretch of period for regular season games, and that's about it. Like I don't see any difference as to what it means or anything. I'm against all the tournaments so far that Adam Silver has installed into the league. I don't like the play-in tournament either. I couldn't care less that the in-season tournament is happening. I just care about wins and losses, and that's pretty much the only thing the in-season tournament is. And I'd rather even not go to the finals of the in-season tournament because that's one extra game that we have to play that doesn't count towards anything.
Okay, that's real. Well, I mean, first of all, Gerald just schooled me up and said it starts tonight. So sorry about that, everybody. In-season tournament starts tonight. I just looks like the Lakers' first in-season game isn't until the 15th. But yeah, I seen somebody say something about it, the in-season tournament today that I resonated with so much. It said, "Yo, it's a meaningless trophy, and the wins are worthless, but I think it does add like a bit of like a flair or a bit of excitement because one thing that is true, and if the NBA is just looking at just trying to get eyes on the screen, like bro, them courts and like just the whole little style or theme that they do and just changing it up from the regular, I think it's really good. I'm not gonna lie, for as far as like viewership, and I think it just makes it fun to watch. But essentially, yeah, I agree with you. It is meaningless.
Yeah, I have to remember that not every fan is like me, or you, where we're watching all the games as much as we can. Like most fans are watching, 20 games throughout the season, and if you're able to get their eyes on more of them throughout a condensed amount of time because the courts look cool, then I guess that's good for the league. But in terms of how I view it personally, I couldn't care less about it.
I feel you. Totally feel you. Xbox, yes, it's me and Stone. We got pillow talk going on. And don't worry, brother. I hope you enjoy work. Have a great time at work. Let me see. Joe said, "Where the hell is my link?" So let me send him the link real quick. Stone, if you want to talk to the folks while I send Joe this link, that would be great.
Let me see. Looks like you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Giddy in-season tournament MVP. We don't want P. Giddy to win that. Standings matter. They should win. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is the standings do matter. That's what I was saying. Like, I care about the wins and losses. I just don't care about the tournament itself. Like, I don't care about winning the tournament. And like I said, I'd rather not win the tournament because that means we played an extra game that's meaningless.
Absolutely. Joe, I just sent you the link, brother. But no, absolutely, Stone. I am right there with you. I'd rather, especially with a 40-year-old LeBron James, I'm not trying to play an extra quarter. I just want to do exactly what we got to do and just get out of here as quick as quick as humanly.
We're gonna play enough play-in games anyway, so
there you go. There you go, brother. But all right. Oh, here it is. Here he is. What's going on, Joe?
Big Joe.
So we would prefer to limit as much activity as possible this season, correct? With the in-season tourney.
It's just one more game where injuries or things could go wrong to me, and there's no point in winning it.
I guess I'm still in the dark here on what exactly Adam Silver's trying to create here. How is this tournament gonna reflect the league in, let's say, 5 years? Is it going to be the continuous, useless tournament activity, or what? Is there something that's going to grow on us doing this?
The only way that I could be more intrigued by it is potential further rewards from it, and instead of monetary. Like if you were to win the in-season tournament, wherever the lotto balls fall, you get like 3 picks higher than where it falls or something like that, where there's more team incentive built into it. But right now, there the players getting extra money does me no good as a fan.
Yeah, I agree that there's going to have to be some kind of an incentive to winning these games or winning the in-season tournament. I still am advocating for the league to start making the game more regional. You kill kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. And what you do is you limit the travel so that people aren't constantly going back and forth from LA to Chicago, LA to, especially in the West. Not only is the West the most competitive, but you also have to deal with more travel, because 2 of your teams are in Minnesota and in Memphis. Oh, and you also have New Orleans. There needs to be some kind of realignment, but we're not going to be able to get that until there's an extra team in here, or an extra 2 teams, and then you can shift one of those teams back to the East. Minnesota, I'd say, would probably be maybe the one that you would keep versus New Orleans and Memphis. I've said that if you add the Sonics and a Vegas team, you move Memphis and New Orleans to the East. Then now geographically, you're starting to sit a little bit better on how that turns out. But as far as the Lakers are concerned here, I didn't get a chance to catch what you guys were saying up until the last 5 minutes. But you can tell the Lakers are really, really trying, and you can tell that JJ Redick has some skill. But the Lakers are going to have to figure out a miracle in terms of getting talent on this team, while you can hope and pray that AD and LeBron stay healthy the rest of the way. It's just, are we asking for too much there? I think looking at it right now, it's true.
I think that's the right diagnosis, and I think the way to address that diagnosis is by what you're saying, acquire more talent. But I don't think a route to that exists, at least to acquiring the talent to contention level. So I think that what we're asking is what should be happening, but because of mismanagement in the past, that the path to that just does not exist.
We try to keep that path there, because if we say what Stone Hansen says, then we might as well wrap it up. Correct?
That's why I'm for wrapping it up as a team and just
correct.
It up.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's good that Stone, and I'm sorry, John, if I hijacked your show here, but I'm gonna say one more thing, and then I'm gonna let you obviously do your thing.
I'm just here, brother. This is your world. I'm living in it.
Hey, how the hell did you know I did that, Mark? I didn't even tell you what I did today. Are you watching me, man? Anyways, I've been getting a lot of heat, Stone. I know you're here once every couple of weeks, but I'm getting a lot of heat. I'm getting a lot of heat from LeBron people who are not very happy with my LeBron sexualness. And Gerald and I have gotten a lot of flack about our assumptions of what this team is going to be. But there's so many that are hanging on, right? They're winning all their home games, and it's giving them that hope, that Tierre Brown hope, the Ramon Sessions Hope. For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, these are past players that the Lakers had. Probably some of you guys were so young you don't remember, but we remember how I remember vividly that when there was discussions about acquiring these players or having them on the team, Laker fans tend to be very, very in love with talent on their team. But here's the other part, Stone. Here's where that kind of got pied in our face. What's happened with guys that the Lakers have let go? Look at
depends on the player.
Look at the Jay Huffs. Look at the Scottie Pippen Jr.'s. Now, I'm not saying those guys were going to be title contender talent for us, but there's an argument there that maybe the Lakers have been bad at not letting things stay a little bit. For sure, the Caruso thing was a gigantic mistake, but we're looking at what's likely to be inevitable, which is not being able to win it all, which is the whole point of having LeBron and AD on this team. So with that, I've tried to say I'm going to go by each game, analyze each game, kind of stay with that so that we are not in dread mode all the time. You're here every couple of weeks. So if you bring the dread, it's only a couple of weeks, every couple of weeks. I like how you do things. I work in an environment in my head that's more like Stone Hansen. And I have friends that do that as well. And we're all I'm sorry to say this, folks, we're very efficient at what we do because of that. It's just, I'm sorry. I know it doesn't feel good all day, but
it does not feel good to be a Lakers fan when they're like this.
No, it doesn't. But you also can't live in a world of fantasy. I mean, I can delve into other subjects here, but I don't want to ruin the show. And ruin Gerald's show as well. He knows what I'm talking about. And I just want to say I'm going to try my best to entertain John, Stone, Gerald, and we'll go game by game, folks, and we'll massage it as we see fit at that time.
That's all that there's left to do, Joe. That's all we can do. Let me see. John, give Delos. Xbox said, John, give Delos some credit. He's been playing nice. I absolutely have. I unfortunately couldn't make it to the last post game, but the one prior to that, I was there and I was giving them all the love. And I even said, hey, man, he might have found himself a role on this team. But even deeper than that, what I was really happy at is that it only took JJ Redick 12 games or whatever, 13 games into the season to figure out, all right, you know what? If this isn't working, let me move to this. Let me move to this. Let me move to that. And I think that this is something that we saw Darvin Ham stubbornly go into like 30 games into the season, trying one thing, being married to lineups, being married to players. But I'm super happy that, of course, JJ isn't. And JJ brought in D'Lo off the bench. He said, sorry, John, I'm giving him credit. Like, oh, yeah, appreciate you, brother.
I think the reason the D'Lo thing is able to work is because Reeves has taken a jump with his handle this year. Not in a way that's huge, and he's not like crazy with it, but it's a lot more improved than where it has been. And I think that the reason D'Lo can come off the bench is because of that. And I think Reddish is probably a placeholder for Vando. I think once Vando gets back, he's probably the one starting over Reddish. Because I don't think Reddish is sustainable as a starter for a full year if you're not trying to be a lotto team. But I think he's probably a placeholder, and JJ's sort of trying to get a feel for, just how do things work when D'Lo comes off the bench. But I'd imagine Vando takes over when he gets back and healthy.
Question though, Stone, because you say if we're running a Cam and a starting lineup, we're a lottery team, but I feel like I could say the same thing if we're running Vando. I mean, he's probably better on the defensive end, but like 100 times worse in the offensive end. I mean, Cam sucks in the offensive end. Please don't think I'm trying to.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think.
No, they both suck.
They're terrible. I think Vando for me is like, if you use him properly, I think he's an all defensive caliber type player.
Okay, I'll give you that on that end, but it's like my issue that I had with Ben Simmons, right? It's like I don't need you to be a knockdown shooter, but I need you to at least attempt it enough to where defenses at least got to keep you honest. They at least got to be honest and got to have somebody out there. But I really believe that with Vando and from what I've seen in the last season with Vando on the offensive end, it's going to be a zero. I mean, the last two games, and I don't, I know it's not on the dot, but I'm pretty sure Cam had like 15 one game and then had like I think like 9 the game prior to that. And these are numbers that I don't see Vando putting up. And agreed, he's a way better defender, and Cam is an all right defender, but I think he just gives so much more on the offensive end. I guess, what do you think about that?
I mean, I agree. And to be clear, neither of them are ideal. Like
Yeah.
we're working with what we have here is the issue, and what we have is not good enough. But I think that for me, I mean, I'd much rather play Vando, considering what we have. I'd much rather play Vando and get that defensive slower out of him and use him as. I mean, we've seen JJ's sort of defensive style where he likes to have a roamer a lot of the time defensively, and if your roamer is Vando, I think you're getting a lot more out of your defensive scheme than you would be with Reddish. Obviously, the offense it's just not good. It's bad, and I think it'll remain that way. But you're probably not using him as a 35, 36 minute a night starter. You're fluctuating a lot of those minutes with D'Lo off the bench, so I think that's a way you can kind of get around it a little. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not ideal, but I don't think the ideal exists with this team currently.
I agree. Gerald, Joe, do you guys have any thoughts on whether you would rather see Cam or Vando in that starting spot?
Well, again, you're talking about perimeter defense being one of the main reasons why the Lakers were having some issues at the beginning of the season. And Cam Reddish is a significant upgrade as far as perimeter defense is concerned, and so is Vando. But you're talking about their ineptitude on the offensive end. Nobody is scared of them. I remarked the other day, I thought Kelly Oubre, I think, was like right on Cam Reddish, and I'm asking myself why. You should always be 10 to 15 feet away from him, begging him to shoot. You should have a sign with you when you come out of timeout. You should take the clipboard from the coach to either Vando or Cam Reddish and say, please shoot, right on it, and just flip it up when they're on the offensive end, when they get the ball, or if they get the ball, because that's how bad they are on that end of the floor. So with that said, though, they are a substantial upgrade on the perimeter defensive end. And if that's the case, they need that. But you need to have 4 prolific scorers and guys who can stretch the floor legitimately around them. And I'm not sure if the Lakers have that. AD shooting threes at under 30% is not going to do that for you. AD needs to be under the basket. I don't care how intoxicated people get when he hits one. He is still under 30% on the season. That should tell you all you need to know about where he should be shooting the basketball on a regular basis. Dalton Connect, I'm still been disappointed by his results so far, but some of the reasons for that is the fact that he is not consistently getting touches. And Stone will tell you, shooters need touches, consistent touches out there. They just can't be running back and forth just for their health. And seemingly that's what happens a lot of times to Dalton. So he gets out of a rhythm, and then you're asking him like for once every 5 minutes to touch the ball and shoot it, and you're asking him to instantly be a heat wave. That's hard for a shooter to do. Shooters need constant touches in that offense. So the guy, JJ Redick, who has done a solid job to start, remember the day Dalton was drafted, he said he's drawing up plays for him. Well, draw up some more plays for him, please, and get him some consistent touches. Like, instead of in just 1 or 2 minute span, try spacing out his touches over the course of a 5 to 7 minute, his entire tenure or term out that he's out there for that period of time, instead of just trying to condense it into 1 or 2 possessions for him. Then you maybe see if he can become that stretch shooter, so you can have a guy like Vando or Reddish out there more often, along with Austin Reeves or a D'Lo and Rui Hashimura spreading the floor alongside of him. So again, it's just some of this is based off of who you have on the floor with them, because you know it comes at a price, John, when you have Cam Reddish and Vando on the floor. Again, your perimeter defense is significantly upgraded, but you need to have guys that can stretch the floor out there with them. John?
Yeah, I agree. I was just thinking if Joe had anything to jump
Yeah,
in.
Vando was exploited badly in the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, and the deeper you get into the playoffs in the NBA, it doesn't get talked about enough. The deeper you get, the pressure and the difficulty it's almost like high school to college, college to the NBA. It's drastic. When you win a playoff game in the first round, yes, cool. Second round, it's hard. You get to the conference finals, you're gonna play a team that's gonna be good usually. And then of course the finals is off the charts, right? It doesn't matter if Reddish or Vando are healthy and capable, at least on one side of the floor, which is they are. They're still going to get exploited. It doesn't matter if they shut down anybody on the defensive end. If they can't score and they're playing essentially 4.5 versus 5 against Denver, everyone on the Denver starting lineup can score. And this is the NBA in 2024. If you can't score, you're going to have a problem. This is not the 2004 season where the Pistons can lock you down. This isn't the 2008 Celtics where Tom Thibodeau can set up some kind of defensive scheme to stop you. Those days are gone. You can have a good defense. You can have a respectful, maybe above average defense, but you still probably have to have lights out offense to get you through everything. So when you look at, let's say, the Celtics got a lot of praise for their defense during their run, especially in the finals. Now, if you look at the competition during that time, they were fortunate enough to meet every team in the East where they were missing their one guy. That was a huge advantage for the Celtics. Not downgrading their title. Hey, injuries play part of the game. They did their job. They can't be forced to play whomever. They got to play who they play, and they made it work, right? I'm not downgrading it. But they did not play against any elite players almost the entire time in the East. Then when they met Dallas, and this is the one thing I didn't expect in the finals, is I had no idea that Kyrie Irving was going to turn into James Harden circa 2012. They absolutely clowned Kyrie Irving, and they just let Luka do Luka things. So just let Luka do his thing. It's not going to make every shot. Doesn't matter. And then everyone else was either young or just got there during a trade. They exploited it. And then, of course, you had guys like guys like Drew Holiday, whom were making timely defensive plays. So very similar to the NFL. The NBA is almost identical to the NFL in that both leagues have pretty much outlawed any kind of chance at an elite defense. They're not going to let you play elite defense. Hand checking, the aggressiveness, they don't want it. They don't want it. So you have to play as well as you can and be smart, maybe a little bit in the coaching department and obviously talent department. Guys that have some athleticism in the perimeters, guys like Tatum, guys like Drew Holiday, guys like Jaylen Brown. And then you got to hope that there's certain parts of the game where you can make a defensive stop and it ends up helping you win the game. That's essentially what sports is right now in the NBA and the NFL. And the Lakers do not have anyone on this team other than Anthony Davis that's a two-way player. And that is ultimately what's going to be their demise. That's the reality of that.
Agreed. I'm right there with you. And you know what's crazy, Joe? I really do think that the NBA as a whole is getting so much better that it is going towards, if you are not just a two-way player, period, you're gonna at some point get played off the court. And I think the only player and the only players that will be able to somewhat get away with this are the generationally great players like Luka. But Luka got paid. He paid for it last in the finals last year because the Celtics, their ability to switch 1 through 5, their ability to guard everyone, that made it to where there was never a mismatch. Like there was at no point on the time on the court where they like, oh my gosh, we need to go help him because he's about to get blown by, and then it's about to just be playing drive and kick, and now the Celtics would be trying to close out to players, and the other team would play, the Mavs would play against a closeout. But what I'm trying to say is that the league is getting to a point where if you can't play defense, if you can't do at least a little bit on both sides of the ball, you're going to get played off the court. And I think, like I said, I think Luka's the only one that can kind of get away with it because he's so damn good on the offensive end, and he brings you so much on the offensive end that you're like, you know what? I'm just going to take the good with the bad. But I even think I have a hot take. I ain't going to lie. Well, it's not really a hot take, but it's a take. I think Luka is probably about to have his best defensive year this year. I think if he's the dog that I see in him, he should be pissed off about that loss. He should be pissed off and be like, you know what? One of the things that cost us to lose was me having some terrible defense. He was going back and look at the finals. He was the one that was always exploited. They would switch until they get the matchup against Luka and exploit Luka. So I'm expecting him to work on his puppies this offseason.
They're not getting off to a great start so far, though.
That is true. Jordan said, name 25 two-way players that are elite. All right, sounds good. Give me a second here, brother.
How about
no,
Max Christie number 1?
No. That's I'm talking to Jordan right now. No. Look, elite is rare. That's as rare as an MVP. No, that's not what we meant. We meant the ability to score and play defense, not elite. The last elite two-way player was Kawhi Leonard. We're talking. Sorry, go ahead.
Giannis, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry, Giannis. Giannis right now, and then Kawhi Leonard. Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. Jeez, that was a bad one. So yeah, Giannis and Kawhi Leonard. Those are the elite two-way players. Those are rare guys. Well, all we're asking is, the question should be, can Reddish, let's say Cam Reddish and Jared Vanderbilt, and the reason why we're picking on those two is they're the only two players on this team that can play defense. Can they hit an open shot if they're open? The answer is no.
Can they score a combined 10 points a game?
Probably
combined, not as separate.
Yeah, they could, but will their mental faculties allow them to consistently be available and focused for an 82-game season? The answer is no, because we've seen it. We have no reason to believe that they're going to do that because they've never done it. Jared Vanderbilt's already underway there. He's always unavailable. Cam Reddish, he has a couple good weeks, and then all of a sudden a bird flies, takes a shit in front of him, and then something happens. I don't know.
Then he just languishes on the bench until dramatically, like a cockroach, he just appears once again in the rotation, and there you go.
Yes, but thank you, Joe, for that clarification. Because yes, that Jordan Brown or Jordan, whatever your name is, brother.
His name is Jordan Brown.
Jordan Brown. All right. Well, just here to say yes, I wasn't saying everyone has to be an elite on both ends, but you at least have to be able to do it a little bit to where you will not be exploited. On the offensive end, you have to at least be able to shoot the ball enough to where the teams have to at least be honest with you, to where you're not playing a 4-on-5 and a half-court set. And on the defensive end, you got to at least be able to slide your puppies enough on the perimeter to where you're not a mismatch every single time out there. Gerald, Stone, you have anything you want to add to that or anything on that end?
Go ahead, Stone.
No, I don't have much to add.
I
right.
just want to make a note that the Lakers are the top 11 teams in the Western Conference. They're the only ones that have a negative point differential at this point in time. So, again, maybe some credit goes to JJ as far as managing a team that, if you look at it just based off the numbers, should be not quite as good as their record indicates. So, if that's the case, he does, he does deserve some credit. He's got some things to learn. He's like you said, made some changes. But then again, Ham took Austin Reeves early out of the lineup as well. The thing was, Ham was so stubborn on keeping Prince in there. That was something I'm hoping that will not repeat itself down the road with somebody that just is continually a problem in that starting lineup. But I don't see that. If Rui is inconsistent. That's just who he is. He's not going to provide you consistent points and consistent output each and every game. That's just who he's been throughout his entire career. But he does well enough to justify his importance right now in the starting lineup. Austin Reeves, he was struggling to start the season, but he has picked it up as of late. So he is justified. And then, of course, you have LeBron and AD. By the way, did you mention that AD... I checked out very good, and he expects to be back for tomorrow's game. Just want to let everybody know. And then you guys dropped the word on Wood, correct?
Yeah, me and Stone were talking about Wood
Yeah, that
earlier.
Vengeance tour has been delayed even more. So yeah, he's coming back for that.
Man,
yeah.
Xbox is hilarious. He said sliding puppies means something very different to me. Well, out here in America, sliding puppies means just to be able to slide your feet fast. And then Jordan, he said everyone can play defense. Wow, that is a terrible take, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. Everyone cannot play defense. Yes, everyone may understand.
See D'Angelo Russell as a starter.
Jordan, go home.
Come on, because
go home, dude.
Everyone may understand the concept of defense, but everyone cannot play defense, especially at an NBA level. You have to have the ability to be able to slide your feet at that fast. You have to have the ability to be able to understand the offenses and concept and switching and zone. So that's a terrible take, brother. I'm not gonna lie.
That is terrible. That is one of the worst takes I've heard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was a really bad take.
If it was a matter of people wanting to play defense, there'd be a lot more players in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
like Alex Fudge. Alex Fudge wants to play defense too. What is that?
Yeah, that's got him 6 minutes a game at South Bay.
Fudge in your face is what it's got.
Although he does. Now, well,
you might as well eat fudge right now, Jordan, because that's the only benefit you're making in this.
Well, to Joe, he was a bench warmer on the Dallas NBA Finals team, but Alex Fudge. He was actually, remember, he let go by the Lakers. Dallas picked him up. He rode the bench on Dallas, I think, during the course of their season last season, and then now he's back on the LA South Bay roster. I think he got 6 minutes the other night.
You have no idea how happy I am for that.
Yes, exactly. We're thrilled. Defensive
I'm
stopper.
I'm going to go eat fudge to celebrate.
Yes.
Fudge.
What about but I thought Bronny was our defensive stopper.
If he wants to be.
You couldn't just
according to Jordan, right? If he wants to be, he can do it.
You couldn't just sit to the topic. You couldn't just stick with the topic. You have to bring that up.
Of course.
That was actually hilarious. That was actually hilarious.
I know how much it accepts you.
What?
Oh man. But hey, as far as like you saying you play defense if you want to, I think that could work to a certain level. Like maybe at like an adult league, where people
hold on. BTS put in there. Good. Chris Dunn is an elite two-way player. How come he can't get off the bench for the Clippers if he's an elite two-way player? How come he isn't starting for the Clippers?
He should be.
I think I was going to say that too. I think he actually should be starting for that team. I'll be honest with you.
He's not elite, but he should be starting, I think. And I don't think
Norman Powell's been killing it.
They can both play together, though. I think.
With Harden.
And start Norm at the 3.
Okay, because Zubats is getting every rebound. I think he's leading, or he's in the top 5 in rebounding. So I could see you get away with it. Yeah. Dunn is a good defensive player, and his 3-point shooting has come up, especially since he came back from Utah. But does he have that scoring mentality to average above 10 points, 15 points a game? Because you've got Jones in there right now, I think, Stone. Jones Jr.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was never a huge Chris Dunn fan, to be honest, but he's a pretty solid defender. He's not a great shooter, and I think he's a pretty good passer. But yeah, I mean, for this team, who in my opinion is probably lottery bound, I'd be starting him. I'd be starting the 5 best players on your team, regardless of position, if I'm the Clippers, because the more they show out, that's the more trade value they have.
All right. Well, Jones has been playing pretty solid for them. In fact, actually, right now they are 6-5, so they're actually above what I thought. I thought that news with Kawhi, John. I thought once you got the news with Kawhi, I thought that was their season was like over and done with. So at
That's
least
the
they're
5
playing.
I'd be starting too, with with those 3 guards, and then Jones Jr. and Zubac. But I'm not the coach of the Clippers.
Joe, do you want to speak on what your comment here to Jordan?
Well, I put another analogy to it. What he said was like saying every would-be basketball player would play in the NBA if they tried. I mean, come on, man. That's a terrible take. You deserve a slap. Like while you're sleeping with water after on your head.
Joe, you probably were the one at the
on tape. Post it on YouTube for everyone to see. That is what your destiny is with that comment.
That was hilarious.
Jordan says, no, it's an actual thing.
No, it's not. It's your thing, and your thing sucks.
He's going to have to. We'll see how well he defends his take, how much he wants to.
You can't defend a take like that. You can't say
you can if you want to
play defense if they tried. That reminds me of that meme where The Rock is. It's my favorite meme. I have it on my phone. I can't show it because you never know with these damn copyrights. But it's basically The Rock. He had very funny facial expressions when he was in his prime, but he has this like look, and he wins the prize, and then it says the teacher says we're all winners, and he's just like. So that's how I feel right now. I feel like, okay, I wanted to play in the NBA, but I didn't try to play in the NBA.
That was Jordan's response. So you're saying Cam isn't trying to make his shots.
It doesn't matter if he's
trying. He only takes two a game. You only take 2 a game. Yeah.
Hold on. Jordan said, sound saying... Hold on, let me make sure because I'm not a good reader.
BTS, what are you going to tell us next? That that movies are fake too?
Sound saying they can play defense is not crazy. That's not even a sentence. Sound saying
play defense. Maybe you're becoming more. Maybe you're too broad with it.
The only thing is with the Lakers, and I don't know how Stone feels about this, but I'm assuming the fact that if you put Vando or you put Cam out there, you have to have guys that can score the basketball because it becomes a 4-on-5 situation on the offensive end. One of those guys do help tremendously against a elite scorer that's a scoring guard or a wing because the Lakers don't have much. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stone. I mean, how much is in the area? We always talk about, they need a center, they need a guard. But when it comes to wings, what do the Lakers really have to offer, Stone?
They need one of everything, Gerald. Or
yes.
two of everything.
Exactly the answer I was looking for. So that's the problem.
There's like I was saying, there's no perfect answer because it's a catch-22. You get something here and you lose something there. You're not gonna. It's a give and get sort of relationship. You're not going to get a two-way player, which is what you need. You need multiple of them, but you're not. We just don't have that. So you have to give something. You have to give something up to get something, and that's sort of where the Lakers are right now.
I mean, if you look at it right now, is Cam Reddish the closest thing we have to a wing player, Stone, right now, or do you want to put Dalton?
Vuri, I guess.
Well, Rui can't guard wings. He can't guard threes. He's too slow-footed.
Yeah, he's our best. He's a good team defender. That's the reason he's good enough as a team defender to start. But individually, he's bad. And I think that we just don't have. I mean, Dalton to me is right now, at least his rookie season, probably not far off from Rui in terms of how bad he is as a individual defender. So I don't think we don't have a clear answer, and that's the issue.
Man, it's looking bad. It's looking bad.
Well, but then again, that brings the point of 6 and 4 being maybe the best that JJ could put out right now. As far
There
as
is a light at the end of the tunnel, though, fellas.
Yeah.
There is
What
a
is
light,
it?
and I've delved
Starting over.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel, even bigger than that, Stone. And
Ooh,
we
I'm
learned
interested.
from
Time travel.
it was made aware to me by Bloodhound a few shows ago, and we're going to talk about that more tonight. Teasing the show tonight, so you all know. Stone, I know you'll probably be asleep, right?
When is it?
What time are you on, Gerald?
Well, I haven't heard back on ISFF, so we can put it whenever you guys want. So
Okay, whatever it takes to get Stone to not sleep, we can go ahead and.
I mean, I can start up when you guys want. I'll be out at 7, but if you guys want to start up and just
What do you
chit-chat-
think? You're right now. It's 8:00 there. You want to start at 10 your time, Stone?
or you could just start it now. I mean, you could just
If
guys
we-
start.
No,
anytime.
I gotta set up. I gotta prepare. Gerald, you
Oh
know
my
this. Anybody, shows are not just come on here and start talking. I gotta.
Joe, you
bring
always
some
come
notes.
here and start
If-
talking.
Yeah,
No,
if we
I did that now, but I'm talking about our normal show.
Okay, all right.
if we started within the next hour, I could make it probably. But
All right, let's do 9:00 then, your time, and 6:00 our time.
okay.
I'm gonna go get ready. Gerald, you gonna be there?
Yeah, I can be there. I can be
Okay,
there.
John, are you?
I am gonna try to be there. I have to call a lender because I'm starting the home buying process. So I
Okay,
gotta
this is
call
the
the
only
lender.
time. The only time I'm gonna let you wear green on our show is when it's De La Salle, because I know all about De La Salle. So that's
Thank
good.
you.
What about Michigan State for Magic Johnson?
I can roll that too. Yeah, you're right. My brother-in-law is a huge Michigan State fan.
L. Rob, he lives in Michigan.
I don't care about El Rob. No,
What the hell?
I'm just kidding. El Rob, I'm kidding. El Rob, I love you, man. I love you. My Michigan peeps. I love you. My roots were born in Michigan, so of course I support my Michigan crew. Anyways, I'll be back in an hour, folks. We'll talk more about the light at the end of the tunnel. It's probably not going to be fully blasting for a while, but there is something possibly brewing, and we're going to talk about it. And I want to know what you all think, especially Stone. So until then,
we'll do an NBA observations at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then 6
I don't
p.m.
care what you call it. Go ahead and do
Call
whatever you
it
need to do.
Joe screams at everyone. Okay, all right, sounds good. All right.
Well, I think this is a good place for us to go ahead and wrap it up. Then we know. Oh, that was a good comeback, Joe.
Kick him out.
I think it's a good place for us to wrap it up, man. We got 34 people. He just comes on the camera. 34 people in here, man. I appreciate everybody in here showing love, supporting. Make sure you guys check out all the channels, man. Make sure you guys check out everything that the Lakers Fast Breaks got going on, man. As I always say, Gerald, right here, right under me. This man works tirelessly and so hard for you guys. So make sure you guys show love to Gerald by subscribing. If you want to check out any of my work, please do check out Lakers Corner and Clutch Talk. Lakers Corner is clearly about the Lakers. And
Don't forget Stone. He's working on some things.
He's working on some things. Stone, you gotta excuse me, brother. I don't know your Twitter name by heart, but can you please tell the people where they can find you on Twitter for your draft analysis?
Yeah, I'm at report_court, and then there's a lot of people moving to this app called Blue Sky lately. I made an account there too, and I'm at Full Court Report there as well. And yeah, I'm not doing stuff this year as much as I've been doing in the past, but if you want occasional draft work, you can find me there.
Y'all heard it here first, man. Appreciate you guys. And for now, we're out of here, y'all.